that the offseason isn't done yet. Sean Morash is fine. He's like, good offseason, I'm done, rack me, I'm out. I think there are other Yankee fans who are thinking we have more work to do. In my eyes, I would want to improve this bullpen, and I would try to do it with the best arm available, specifically Josh Hader. But I think there is a mixed view amongst Yankee fans on they've done a lot, they've done an awful lot, and they've gotten better. But have they done enough?
Yeah.
A lot and enough are very different words, Tiki.
Yeah, you're right. But here's the problem. And again, I haven't brought this up in a minute now. But I feel like you're like subtly trolling the Yankees.
I am not trolling the Yankees.
You keep saying Josh Hader. Not one, like there's not an indication that Brian Cashman wants to go out and throw it all in on Josh Hader. But you keep saying Josh Hader. And every time you say Josh Hader, 2 days later, someone else is linked to Josh Hader. At first, it was the Houston Astros today. And then about 10 minutes ago, it got linked to the L.A. Dodgers. And so what's going to happen, hold on, what's going to happen is that Josh Hader is going to sign someplace else, and you're going to position it as a disappointment because you wanted Josh Hader to come to the Yankees, a team that you don't even root for.
Or I just have a really strong opinion that I think makes the Yankees better. You know what? Why don't I ask somebody who would know?
Yes.
And they can tell me if it's a good opinion or it's a bad opinion.
Well, you do that.
In fact, so whatever this person says,
yes, we'll accept.
You'll say, okay, Evan brought up a good baseball point. I'm with him.
Right. Except I don't like your poll. I'm not accepting that. But I'll accept this.
But you will accept this.
I will.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now, the voice of the New York Yankees. And I haven't talked to this person in a long time, and I'm glad to hear her voice, the great Suzyn Waldman. Suzyn, how you been?
I've been okay, and as Steve Summers would say, whose fault is that? Yeah.
You know what? It's my fault, and I own it. I apologize.
Thank you, Suzyn, for slapping him around. Thank you. Thank you, Suzyn. Thank you.
All right, I heard your Josh Hader thing.
Yes.
Okay, he is a luxury they don't really need, but if they need him another time, they could go get him. There are other things this team needs besides Josh Hader.
Thank you. This is why I love Suzyn Waldman.
Hold on,
on my side, like that.
Me and my old friend are not going to have a baseball debate.
Go ahead. Have a debate.
Looking at this bullpen right now, I like Clay Holmes. The Yankees have done a great job with him over the last few years. They've turned him into one of the more reliable relievers in baseball. But it doesn't seem to me like there's enough guys that I can rely on. Why not go get one of the best closers in baseball? We are so used to the Yankees having one of the best closers in baseball.
Yeah, you're right. However, there's a lot of money involved here. They want to, there's another year coming up. And some guy that is here now is going to be a free agent. You're going to spend $150 million on Josh Hader. The one thing that I think this team doesn't have to worry about, really, is bullpen. They find arms. They are so good at this. I'm not a big person on how they use their analytics and a lot of things, but bullpen is not one of them. They find people out of nowhere. Clay Holmes is one of them. They find people and they develop them. I am not worried about the bullpen. There are other things.
You know who your opinion sounds an awful lot like?
Uh-oh.
Sean Morash. Does that make you feel good or like, I don't know if I want that?
Well, that's fine. I'm glad when someone is agreeing with me. By the way, years ago, when he first started on the air, I heard a monologue I was hysterical, and I had no idea who he was. And I called the station to ask who it was that was on the air. I think it was like a first time or something. I thought he was the funniest monologue I've ever heard.
And it was Sean?
It was Sean.
Wow.
Suzyn, that is so awesome to hear. Thank you so much.
Look, you made everybody's day today, except for Evans, because you don't agree with him. So, hey, Suzyn, let me ask you a question about the feel around the Yankees right now, because we heard Judge at the end of last year, and he didn't really threaten anything, but he just kind of things need to change. And it feels, but I mean, maybe that was his way of being threatening, because he's not a mean guy. He's the nicest guy in the world. Right. But it feels like that's kind of started to happen. When we listened to Stroman's press conference earlier today, he mentioned talking to Judge. This is why Boone wanted me here and Cash wanted me here and Judge wanted me here. It's almost like there is a more cohesive and cooperative situation happening. Is that true?
Well, a lot of it is because of need. And when they said that they were going to change things, I thought they were going to change things. The only thing that they've really changed is the thing that I thought was the problem last year, and that was getting rid of the hitting coaches. And I don't mean Sean Casey. I mean what came before. They've got real guys there now. Two guys, James Rowson and Pat Rossler, who never should have left the Yankee organization in the first place. But now they're back, and you're going to see a different kind of approach. Not everybody is Aaron Judge. And so the hitting approach is what I think cost this team everything.
What was it? Was it too analytical? What was the issue in your mind?
Yes, it was that when Aaron Judge has his little uppercut, he's Aaron Judge. You hit the ball and it's going to go. Oswaldo Cabrera is not Aaron Judge. Oswald Peraza is not Aaron Judge. It's not everything. Not everything is cookie cutter. Hit the ball hard, hit strikes hard. That was the thing. And we had no moving runners. We had no anything. Get that little uppercut and try and hit the right field porch. And not everyone can do that. So you had a lot of things that were not leading to success. And I'll tell you who else is gonna help that, and that is Juan Soto, who goes the other way. How many times did you watch a Yankee game where everybody just pulls the ball or goes to right field? Well, and left field is open. You got to move the ball. You got to do other things. Soto's going to help that, obviously. Also, Alex Verdugo does that. He goes different places. I think the thing that needed upgrading is the offense. And I don't know how this is going to work, but, if you're a Yankee fan, you know that if it doesn't work by June, other people will be on this team.
I remember last year when guys would pull the ball in situations where putting the ball the other way would advance the runner. Your partner, the great John Sterling, would have freakouts on the radio.
Yeah, he did. It's like we watch. It's so easy. The idea is to win the game.
Right.
The idea is to get the run in. The idea is not hit the ball out of the park, unless you're Aaron Judge or Giancarlo Stanton when he hits the ball, and then it goes out. But most people are not like that. And I think they lost a lot of games, not because of their bullpen, not because of their pitching, because, you can't win every game 2-1. 3-1. The Yankees are supposed to win 14-8. You have to have those games, and they did not have that last year. And and you can talk about the bullpen. If these guys don't work, Cashman will get somebody else. They always do. But the hitting is important, and there are a lot of things that are works in progress on this team, and that's the issue that I would worry about, and not Josh Hader. There are other things they can do with their money.
Yeah, and they've done a lot so far. They add Juan Soto, like you mentioned. What about Marcus Stroman? What did you think about bringing him in?
See, I love Marcus Stroman. I love guys like that. I love guys with an edge. I don't want kumbaya all the time. I hate that. I want someone that's going to go out and has a chip on his shoulder. And I love guys like that. And, whatever went on with him, he should have been here. He's another one. When they were going to trade him with Toronto, I thought he was coming here. And he's perfect here. He's got that little edge. And you look back at the stuff that got people all upset that he said. What did he say that was so terrible?
He was just defending himself, right?
Well, he also was right about the stuff that he said.
That's right.
And, but you need that kind of guy that has a little chip on his shoulder all the time.
Right.
I love guys like that.
I don't mind that, especially if they're good, clubhouse guys, and it seems like he is, despite there's a narrative floating around that he's not, and I think that's bogus.
I do understand that maybe he wasn't so nice to some writers, but you have to. If you're in this long enough, you learn how to talk to athletes the way they need to be talked to.
Yeah.
And maybe he doesn't want to talk to you on Tuesday at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, you're right.
So then you're in their place. Do what they want to do. I just like him. I've always liked him. I'll tell you one little story that I was thinking about today, because he didn't have a good second half, right, with the Cubs last year. Okay, he was hurt. And I remember I think the Cubs were in before the All-Star break. Whenever it was, I walked down the corridor with Stroman on the way, and I said, and I knew he was on the injured list, and I was told he wasn't going to pitch again. I was told he's too hurt. The ribs are shattered, whatever it was. I was told by someone in that clubhouse he wasn't going to pitch again. And we walked down, and I said, how you doing? And he said, don't count me out. People are going to be surprised.
Mm-hmm.
I just, that's the kind of person that I always saw.
Right.
I love that. Besides, and pitching-wise, he's the only guy on this staff now that is a ground ball pitcher except for Clay Holmes, and that is much needed. So you have to change your game plan for Marcus Stroman. So your game plan for Garrett Cole and Clark Schmidt, for example, or Carlos Rodon if he's pitching well, are pretty much the same.
Yeah, it's interesting because Evan mentioned, your partner, John Sterling. You guys have been together for 18 years now. I mean, it's been a long road.
It's actually 20.
20 years. Wow, 20 years you guys have been doing this together. But you've seen the evolution of him as he's aged a little, and he doesn't do all the games, so you get some substitute, play-by-play guys on the road sometimes.
You trying to audition? You want to do some broadcasting?
No, not at all. But I'm
You want to come do a game? John's not going to spring training this year. Why don't you come down, do a game?
I would love to.
Well, hold on. Am I getting invited too, Susan, or is it just
you can come too. Maybe we can get, what was it, your uncle that picked me up at the airport?
Yes, my uncle is my uncle. I don't think he drives anymore, but he lives in Tampa. Once picked you up. Yes, he could come hang out too.
Susan? He could come out. He could do an inning or two.
Susan, let's make it a date. My brother will take us out. He'll entertain us down in Tampa.
Right, I've never met your brother.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
He's the evil me, Susan. Right? So if anything bad happens, I'm blaming it on my brother. I'm telling you right now, it's an evil twin thing, and that is him. But I bring up I bring up Sterling for a reason because, you've seen this evolution of him, and this. I think as he's gotten older, we've really started to appreciate. Right, his quirkiness and his energy, and you've seen it firsthand for a lot of years. Can you talk to that a little bit?
Well, when you do something, this is something that John has wanted to do since he was a little boy in knee pants, and he was a little boy in knee pants. And he just loves it. It's his whole life. And he's got one of those memories. He's got I'll look at Kansas City comes in, right? And I'll look on the plane because you give us a roster of who's there, and I'll get the notes from the day before, and I'll go, who the hell is Sam Birdbath or something? Yeah. And he'll say, a little left-handed infielder. He came from here. He knows more. He has forgotten more than most of us will ever know, ever. But he's got this ability to really know everything, and he doesn't suffer fools easily, which is why we get along so well. Because, he'll say, now tell me about this guy. And I'll say, well, so-and-so didn't like him when he was there. And he says, that's nonsense, Susan. Stop. What kind of pitcher is he? All he cares about is the team, what's going on, and telling the fans what is going on. And he's already people are already, I saw on Twitter and he's not on social media, which is amazing.
Yeah.
So he doesn't know
unless
his kids. Well, he doesn't have he doesn't have a computer. Literally, he literally has a flip phone,
that's awesome.
And he does not have a computer. He's not on Amazon. He's not on anything. He says, "I have enough going on in my life. I don't need to be on a computer." But he loves this game and loves this team so amazingly that he just keeps going and going, and you can hear the energy. And he does have. I like that he has now started to take some road trips off.
Yeah.
That's fine because all the older guys are doing that, and I think it keeps him fresher. And he's as far as I'm concerned, he's always been like this, and he knows a lot. And evidently, everybody and his brother and sister and aunt and uncle are sending him things for Soto of what he's going to say.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we've taken calls about it too. Everybody's excited now. He doesn't tell me. He won't tell me until he says. Oh, it's going to be a big surprise.
Oh, it'd be awesome.
Now, Susan, I have a proposition for you. All right.
Uh-oh.
I don't know if
I
you
haven't
heard.
been propositioned in a long time.
Wait till you meet my brother.
Well, I don't know if you heard the news, but our program director ditched town. He's done with us. He's going to Philly.
Yes, he's going to do afternoon drive with an Eagle. Yeah.
Let me ask you, what about USPD? What about you, Suzyn Waldman, an original voice of WFAN? What about you coming back and running the show? What do you think?
All right. How long do you actually want to work there?
Am I the first one gone, Susan?
No. Oh, no.
Who is, by the way, by chance?
Don't answer that, Susan.
Oh, man.
We already know she loves Sean.
Would you want that headache? Oh, my God. Oh. Can you imagine dealing with all those egos? I have enough trouble dealing with myself and my ego. Can you imagine
nobody around here has an ego anymore. Who do you think has an ego? Are you talking about Boomer? Are you saying Boomer's got a big ego? Oh, that's the first guy you're getting rid of. Esiason. Yeah. I can see it. Suzyn, great talking to you. We appreciate
It was
it.
awesome
All right,
to
thanks
catch
for
up.
having me, guys. And you've got an invitation anytime to come on down.
Definitely.
You do a couple of innings. We'd love to have it.
We're in.
We are going to
Thank
take
you,
you up
Suzyn.
on that for sure.
Wow.
I
Okay.
appreciate you, Suzyn.
All right, guys.
Take
Bye-bye.
care.
The great Suzyn Waldman. By the way, write that down. We're going to spring training. We're doing some innings with Suzyn. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I'll
I'm
go on the-
on orbits right now booking my flight.
I'll be on the field at the end doing the Yankee Star of the game. I'll do
Right.
that for Suzyn.
She loves you. She's a
See?
big fan of Sean. Do you remember the monologue that she loved so much?
It's hard for me to say because I had so many great ones, so I don't know. I
But
don't
you
know.
said it was like one of your first ones.
Yeah, I mean, maybe one of the first ones she heard, but clearly it was after a Yankee game. I was probably killing him, something like that. But
She liked it.
Yeah.
Look at
That's
that.
Look, I'm
funny.
a talented guy. What can I say?
I'd always heard rumors that she liked you as a talent, and
there
now
you
it was
go.
confirmed without me even asking.
I got to be honest, it means a lot more that she likes me as a talent more than either of you two. Yeah.
I
Got nothing but
understand.
love for you, Sean.
I
Listen,
know.
she's fan royalty. She was the first voice ever on the
100%.
fan. She's still on the fan doing the
Right.
games with John.
Right.
And she's right. It's good, not for our own selfish being of going to spring training and doing a game, but it's good that John takes time off. Can you imagine always working? Like,
Yeah.
you need to recharge your
And
batteries.
it's a grind for baseball, too, man. It
Well,
is
he had, do you know how long his streak was?
No.
He had a streak that extended decades of not missing a game.
Are you kidding? How's
And
that possible? Don't you get sick?
Never.
You get a little under the weather?
He never got
Lose
sick.
your voice, maybe?
He never missed the game.
Have a wedding to go to? Like something?
If I'm not mistaken, what ended the streak was not him getting sick, which is so great that it wasn't.
Right.
I think it was his daughter's graduation. And it was literally just an event for a family member where he's like, all right, Suzyn, I'm going to take the day off. You know, that's a great way to have it end.
Right.
As opposed to, getting sick or something like that.